Oh man, I figured this would happen, bro. I was like, I figured this would definitely happen. I don't know how you guys got your hands on these, bro. What's good? I'm Nigel Sylvester, and you're watching Beyond the Box with Sneaker News. Man, I've been riding bikes since I can remember. You know, like my earliest memories is a bike was there somewhere. You know, used it for transportation, for fun. It was just something I used to express myself. Well, growing up in like Queens, like popping wheelies and jumping off the curbs, always something to do. Like all the kids in my neighborhood did it. I just had a different type of affinity for it, where I wanted to go higher and go faster. I would take like old tires and a piece of like wood board and like make a ramp, ride as fast as I can and like jump it as far as I can, you know, and it just kept going from there. Once I discovered it was the actual industry, from magazines and videotapes and whatnot, I was like, okay, cool, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I was sold at that point. I didn't know I was good at BMX until like my immediate circle of friends was like, yo, like you're getting really good, you know, and then at that point I was like, oh, word, I got to step it up even more, you know. Amongst like my crew of friends who were really into BMX, I was always the youngest kid. So for me, it was always proving to them that I can like keep up and like hang out, you know. So I feel I have to work even harder, just maintain like my position within like my crew of friends, you know. Some of my earliest memories of really getting into BMX culture was going to the skate park. I can remember going to Bay Ridge, and there was a skate park called Owl's Head Skate Park, and I would go there. I would troop from my crib in Queens, and I was a mission. I would troop from there all the way to the skate park, and I would sit at the skate park all day, ride, go get some pizza, some Chinese food, come back, ride, like pretty much all day, every day. And I met a whole bunch of like good cats out there who were way better than me, who taught me certain tricks, who helped push me along the way as far as developing my skill and also identifying like my style. You know, so like, it was definitely like that. Those were some really, really cool days. I can remember like landing my first 720, like out the fly out at the skate park, man. I was going crazy. Learned tail whips there, 270 bar spins. You know, it was a lot of tricks that I learned at that skate park, so it was a good time. A couple years ago, I was sitting down with my director, Harrison Boyce, and we were like, yo, like, let's make something new. Let's just create something. And it was all these questions that I was being asked. Like, okay, well, what is the next content piece you're gonna do? And people wanted to know like the certain feeling of like riding a bicycle. And I wanted to bring people more into that feeling and more into the experience. So we decided to make this content series called Go. And had a couple key elements. For me, it was, how do I shoot an entire video series from the POV perspective? People can really feel like they're behind the handlebars with me. You know, also I have this love for continuous shots, you know, like one long shot. So I had the concept of how do we make it look like it's one long shot. So came with this idea, we're gonna shoot this video in New York City, shoot the whole thing POV and make it look like it's all one shot. So we filmed the video over the summer of 2015, and when it was done, we was like, okay, cool, we don't know what's gonna happen with it, just put it out and see what the people think. You know, when we put it on YouTube and like, that thing caught fire, man. People loved it, embraced it all around the world. And from there, I was like, cool, I want to do more of these things. Like, how do I shoot this video series and take it around the world? So the goal is now to ride my bicycle around the entire globe. It still like trips me out sometimes, man, to understand like how far like the BMX bike and BMX culture has taken me. You know, been able to meet some incredible people, travel the world, and live my dream, and like truly live out of my imagination. Like if I can think of it, I'll figure out a way how to make it happen, one way or the other, you know, so it was definitely a blessing. Man, my relationship with Nike began when I was 18 years old, dude. So I turned pro when I was 18, and I signed a deal with Dave Mirra, who is like the GOAT for sure, you know what I mean? He signed me to Miracle Bikes and turned me pro, and then 2 weeks later, I got the call from this dude named Mark Losey. And Mark Losey was the BMX mentor for like the Nike program. And I had met Mark Losey a couple months prior, around the same time I met Dave Mirra for the first time. And he gave me a shout, like, yo, I heard you just signed with Miracle, that's super dope. have opportunity for you to sign to Nike 6.0. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? Like, I'm like, of course, that's without a doubt. You know, I grew up embracing Nike, and they made incredible commercials that motivated me, inspired me to go out and do my thing. You know, so having an opportunity to ride for them, I was like, yeah, of course, man. Like, and that summer changed my life. You know, I turned pro, I got an official bike sponsor, and I got an official shoe sponsor. I'm riding, I'm living, and like the dream is now starting to formulate. I'm like, wow, it's actually happening, you know? And it's been incredible ever since. You know, it's been like one hell of a ride. There we go, joints, joints, joints. Oh man, I figured this would happen, bro. I was like, I figured this would definitely happen. I don't know how you guys got your hands on these, bro. I don't know what storage unit you you dug up to find these things, bro. This is crazy, man. So for those of you who don't know, this is a Nike 6.0, and this is the category which I first signed to Nike under. This was the action sports category. So they had BMX riders, skateboarders, surfers, wake skaters, a bunch of like just extreme sports. And this is the first collab that we did. This is a friend and family pack exclusive. And this shoe is called the Nike Maverick. It's a shoe I was riding in, vulcanized sole, low top joint, just cozy, you know. And we did this pair, and you kind of need both of them to really see the vibe. But I was like, I wanted to do like a mashup of different materials, but I wanted to all be black, you know. And then we had like ostrich on here, we had nubuck, stingray, just a bunch of like premium leathers on here, bro. We did a gold swoosh on this side and a black one here, gold bottom, and then we did the purple quilter inside. For me, it's always about this cross of functionality and also like just a premium aesthetic, you know. And this is that right here. This is where I can ride in this thing, but also like it's by like just the materials on, you can tell like it's some thought that goes into it. And you put this shoe on and you walk down the block, it's like, oh, what the hell is that, you know? So and then we did like the matching windrunner. At that time, I was super like about windrunners. So we did like the purple rain windrunner, which is crazy. I didn't see this thing in so long, man. That's crazy. I was so psyched when we did this collab. You know, it was my first Nike collab. I was able to like gift all my friends. You know, it was a vibe, dude. This is probably like a couple years into me being signed to the program, and I was like, I want to do a shoe, you know, and it was like, cool, what you want to do? I was like, let's do the Maverick, because it's a shoe I was riding in a lot. And they gave me the CAD, and I was like, yo, do your thing. At the time, I had a store in Queens called Format. So my boy Sean and I sat down. I was like, yo, like, what should we do with this joint? You know, and I was like, I want to do all black because, you know, it's just my vibe. I was like, I don't want to do any all black. I want to like freak the materials. Each panel should be a different material. My advice to young kids these days, man, is just forget the rules. You know, like if you have an idea, you want to create something, just go and create it. Like don't wait for anyone to tell you yes or no, man. Just you got an idea, you put pen to paper, you map it out, and go execute. You know, we have so many resources with social media and all these different tools we have these days, man. Like use them. You know, I'm the same way. It's still DIY for me. Like, yo, I got an idea, I want to figure it out. I gotta go and put that work in.